Right, chat. Let's turn down that music a little bit. How you guys doing? I know it's been a while. It's been a while, crocodile. Let me just refresh this. Pop that over there. Sweet. Right, so we're in, boys. We're in. So I've got kind of a nice little stream to have. We're gonna work out afterwards if we're gonna continue playing COD, or I might move over to some Era of Conquest. But as of now, what we're gonna be doing is quickly just sending out these guys to farm. So I do need to farm. This guy's kind of triggering me with his not completing tiles. It is what it is. We'll just keep slamming this key really quickly. Try and get this in somewhere. There we go. Boom, that's there now. And then we might set up a quick Eliana Garwood up. 200k really fast. See what this is saying before we go. And then we'll start cracking on. I don't think this guy realizes I don't share a Runic statue with him. Let's just read this. Oh, it's 151k. Let me resend this then. If that's 151k, I'll do the same. You know what I mean? I'll be fair. We've got pretty similar Garwoods, which is cool. If this is expertise, which it's showing I think it is, then he might win in the long run, but we'll soon see. We'll go quickly. If you're wondering what we've been doing, guys, we have been grinding merits. So in the actual personal merit table in the entire server, I'm ranked 26 at the moment, so we're doing pretty good. And then in like the alliance, if you don't know, in the alliance in TA, I'm now at rank 6. I were rank 5 earlier, so someone's just overtook, I think, me and Coffee up in the bigger numbers, which is cool. So we're in the top 10 in our alliance, which is great. Why? Because we've been able to actually, let me just claim all these goodies. We've been able to actually, you know, buy a load of stuff from the merit store. So you can see I'm kind of empty on the merits all right now. What we've been doing is just buying out everything, honestly. I've been pretty unlucky with the skills, and to be honest, I've been a bit unlucky with the healing. So I've kind of just got what I've got. I've got more resources over anything right now because of it. So hopefully next week or the next couple of days we get a nice, a little bit more luck on our side, right? And we get that nice streak of free elixirs, right? Because we need those free elixirs. Without those free elixirs, I'm gonna be like, oh no. So what we're gonna do, chat, I'm gonna record this and then I'm gonna obviously make a video on it. But Spirit Talk and Overstorm Peak is here. And I'm not gonna lie, what a myth busting is, pretty simple, chat. According to the legends, you need around, on average, 70 keys. So we've got 70 keys to roll. So I'm going to roll 7 times and see if we can get the new infantry artifact. And if we can try and put those you know, urban myths maybe to the test and see if on average 70 might get you it, and if not, maybe it might get you another legendary on the whole. So let's see, guys, let's see. How you doing, Grotech? I hope everyone's enjoying tonight. It is Tuesday evening. I'm just going to quickly send these to go and hit this. So this is going to be our little merit printer again. And then afterwards, when I get all my stuff back, I'm going to actually go and do some dark chests, because we need to do those dark chests. We don't want those keys overflowing. So that's going to be our fight. If you're wondering, that march there is at 151,000. We just scouted it so we can see how much there were, and we're just doing the same. So we're trying to work with what we've got, guys. We're trying to do what we can. You know, there's no real fighting, but I have been, you know, fighting and testing as well. I'm going to be doing some more proper testing, hopefully the next coming days. I'm just waiting for my actual hospital to heal up, apart from the infantry, which I can do afterwards over time. So we are going to be doing a bit more testing. I want to actually really do, I'm not going to lie, guys, I really want to test out these heroes. I can test Goresh out already, because he is 5511, 551, should I say. But the schoolgirl, I need to get 5-5, and then I can make her 1-1, and then we're good to go. So this is kind of like my next task. I could, if I really wanted to push it right now, and is just put my universals into her, get her to 5-4, and then I'm working on that last skill, and then again I'll be saving up everything for the mage heroes when the mage heroes come. So I do want to get them both 5-5, you know, basically 1 and 1-1, and in respective of the heroes. And I want to test them with Madeline. I want to test them with Garwood, as well as with Nika, just to see how well all the combinations actually do. See if it's fully worth it for infantry players, because obviously a lot of infantry players are probably wondering, is it worth it, is it not? They're looking around and probably there's not that much advice to go about things, right? So that's what we're going to do. So what we're going to start off with first, guys, is going to be this Spirit-Born talk. We're going to hit the talk. We're going to record this Forge of Light experience together. What we're going to do afterwards is most likely start then the scout report, and have a nice little chilled out, bit more relaxed podcast again with a new guest. And then after we've done the podcast, I'll probably come back on and we might do the trial of light. So we've got the trial of light that we can do, so we might try this out, and then who knows, maybe we try some Era of Conquest, you know. We'll see how it is. Right, so what we can do, we can't do, we've got no prestige now, so we're kind of capped out, is what it is. So we will just quickly get rid of that little chest trigger, because it's doing my nutting. And here we go. What we're going to do, hit the record button. It doesn't really matter, because I'm going to just obviously edit all of this. But this is the Forge of Light event. At the moment, you're going to be able to get the Oath of Stormpeak and the Spirit-Born talk. Obviously, I want the new infantry artifact. If you're wondering, we do have already the Oath of Stormpeak. We actually unlocked this. I forgot how. I think it was from the Anointed artifact. So if we do get one, it obviously makes ours better. So what we're going to be testing out is the simple one. We're going to be testing out 70 keys. We've got 70 of these bad boys out there. And the general community advice, where I've always heard different rumors, but the most like common one I hear is if you get 70 keys. On average, It's going to cost you about 70 Forge of Light keys to do this event and hopefully land on your Spirit Talk. Obviously, I've got the Wish on the Spirit Talk as well, just in case we hit any of the other legendary artifacts, which aren't the ones that we want, which is not going to be a good time. So let's see. Let's hope, let's pray to the RNGesus gods, guys, that we can get this infantry new artifact and start hopefully maybe abusing infantry to the fullest, because I think this is what you're going to start needing, especially if you're trying to get that maximum damage output. So here we go, guys. First 10, boom, purple. It is what it is. We can't get it straight away. Imagine first one. We've got Bomb Flinger, good one for the PvE players. Another purple, so let's see if we get it in here. So that's already 20 keys there. And we've got another Bomb Flinger there. So again, if you really wanted that PvE artifact, we had it twice in a row. Here's the next 10. We've got another Bomb Flinger. Bro, it wants us to be Bomb Flingers away here right now. Now we're going into the 40th spin. 40 keys already consumed. And now we've got Giant's Bones. We've only got 30 left already. And it's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good. So here we go. Boom. Another 10. And it's just going to be another purple. We're not looking good here, guys. Another 20 to go. Next 10. Oh my god. Here we go. Last 10 keys. Can we get it in the 70th spin? And the answer is no. And this is why in the video, which we've talked about previously, about the Forge of Light event, this is why you shouldn't be doing it. Because I just spanned that 70 times. I did not land a single legendary artifact at all in that 70. With a probability chance, which is supposed to be increase of 0.9 on these two artifacts especially. And then with these. So if you're wondering how many gems that obviously cost, that is quite a lot of gems, right? It's 600 gems for 10 keys. So you can now look, if we go all the way up, that was 42,000 worth of gems saved up. Obviously using the artifact method to actually create these Forge of Light artifacts keys as well. That's over 42,000 worth of gems used in this event. And we're not able to hit a single legendary. So if this is giving you more of a reason not to waste your gems on this event, and if you really want to just use the trick to get free Forge of Light keys on that, you know, the anointed system, when you scrap through here and you keep scrapping, and eventually at some point they appeared here. I don't know if they're going to appear again in Season 2. We'll soon see. But you could stack up those keys like that and then, you know, go for it. But apart from that, it's a definite L, guys. So that is going to be part, obviously, the video when we make it all. But Jesus Christ. I'm just telling the boys, they're wondering what's just happened. Right, so unfortunately we didn't do it. We didn't grab it. So what we are going to do, obviously, is quickly send out my march. You say you should do that, but that's like putting so many more gems into it, though. Like, I could do it if you really want me to, for content. Like, I could go and buy, you know, technically 10 keys. Like, I can buy 10 keys and empty out my gems. You know what I'm saying? And try one last time. But that doesn't guarantee me I'm getting a legendary. You know? The myth and the whole point of the video was 70 keys. Because that's what a lot of people have said on average. It's been 70 keys. I kind of just wanted to myth bust that. Like what Juan said, I've heard that as well. Like 100 keys on average. Some people say 70. Some people say you need like 120 keys. So maybe it's a start of a random series where, you know, maybe when I can get enough money and invest into it, instead of doing 70 keys, I'll do 100 keys and see how it goes. And then I'll do 120 keys and try each of the different free myth busting, you know, ones. So yeah, if the thing is, I might be able to, because it is here for another 2 days. So in theory, if I really wanted to, I could try and get it. I could roll another 10, boys, if you really want. Like, I can't get any more of this bundle, as you can tell. Like, I just can't. But it resets tomorrow, so I could do the next 10 tomorrow. But I've never heard it. I've never heard you get a guaranteed within 90. Just because the probability is 0.9 doesn't mean you get a guaranteed within 90. Like, it's wild. It says every 90 here, so we'll soon see. I could do 10 now. Do you know what? Do you know what? We'll do it. We'll get another 10 because I can record myself tomorrow doing the next 10 anyway. Just to prove how bad this is. It's the pity timer of doing it. So here we go. There we go. We landed it. Did we get Spirit Talk? That's the real question. And this is what I'm scared about. So that was not 42,000 gems. That was over 48,000 gems to get one legendary artifact. And we got it. Oh! We got it though. Oh my lord, I'm lucky. We got the one we wanted though. Let's go. But I was still 48,000 gems. Oh. Oh boys. We got it. We got it. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. You say I'm so lucky, but I was on the 80th spin. That was the 80th spin. So if I didn't get anything that spin, tomorrow I would guaranteed one. Like, I legit have made now, after this video, guys, you know, after I make this video and it goes live like in a couple of days, I've now made 2 valid reasons why you should never play this event. Because I did a really good, I think I made a really good artifact video. You know, how to get artifacts, the best way to actually invest gems into artifacts at the moment. And obviously, Forge of Light isn't one. And I just want to make this a really good example of that. So we literally spent 50,000 gems in order to get this. Don't get me wrong, it's a super powerful artifact. I'm getting so many stats for this. So I am happy we've got it. So, but it's insane. Straight away level 20, so we can instantly do the old level. I like how it gives you Legion defense too. Nice. How it gives you Legion defense. There we go. So now I just need to get some basically artifact dust. That's fine. We can do that towards the maybe, I say the end of the season, but we will slowly work on this and get it up. It might replace my Grey Mars Warhammer. You know, my Grey Mars Warhammer's 5 stars, level 51, but it's still level 1. It's a good CC effect, but I think this is just strictly better. Like, I just think this is strictly better. You're getting 10% more counter attack damage, you're reducing 5% of the normal attack damage taken, and you're getting 15% increase in defense for 30 seconds. And you get 600 range, taunting 5 enemies for 3 seconds. Like, it seems really good. And it does what, you know, like the new commanders want as well. It does what that they want as well. So it promotes everything. So that's nice. That's nice. Nice. So give me a second, chat. Let me just send a quick message to the guest and get some stuff prepped, and then we'll be good to go basically, and we'll start the scout report, and then we'll come back into this. We'll probably, like I say, we'll do trial light. We'll try and get this Jira, you know, G2, and maybe because we got the artifact, do we just bite the bullet and just force her 5/4? Do we do it, chat? Do we do the unthinkable? And then we can just start working on this hero anyway. And as soon as I got a 5/5/1/1, I'm basically done with her. I don't need to do anything else with her for now. You just get the cavalry artifacts for like RNGs is against me. I don't know if the majors are coming this season or next season. They haven't told us, but they have told us they are meant to be the next. Obviously, they are the last 2 heroes in the Generational 2 roster. So it's going to be interesting. I reckon they're going to be a Season 3 hero, but the cost is Generational 2 heroes. And then maybe they do 2 overall based heroes, you know, finish off all of the roster then. So then when you go into Season 4, that'll be like Generational 3, and they can do it that way then. That's my thoughts anyway. We'll soon see. Alright, so I've sent the messages out. Right. Let's switch up the scene already. Boom. So, like I said, this is going to be the COD pod. I said the COD pod. The scout report. I am just setting up some bits. Let's just see if he's ready. Right, so let me switch the music over to something that we all are a little bit more familiar with when we're doing this. So we like to have that nice chilled out. Ooh, I'm liking this one. Ooh, I'm liking this one. Right, so what we're going to do is call the guest up. Obviously, I'm going to have to sort out his quickly camera on the Discord, so it's showing so you guys can see him speaking, and then obviously we're going to crack on with the podcast. So if you guys have never done a scout report before, just remember it's pretty simple. All you got to do is have fun. If you've got any questions during our little like talks and discussions, whack them in the chat, and if I can spot them in time, and if we don't go over them, you know, we will happily obviously try and answer them. So that's kind of like the gimmick of our really fun podcast here. So let me phone him up and I'm gonna have to do some music adjustments. There we go. I think that is what we want. So hopefully it's just in the background. Let's phone the man, the boy wonder. That's not what it's called. There we are. How you doing, dude?
Hello, Mr. Sneaky. How are you?
I'm alright, dude. Let me just quickly grab your little picture, basically.
No worries, take your time. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I think I can hear you. Hopefully, if you speak, yeah, I can see the voice thing going up when you go up. Yeah, it seems good. I think chat can hear you as well, fine. So let me move this, because this is... at the moment showing me.
Here's on the new artifact. I just saw you got it.
Yeah, we just got it. It was kind of lucky, dude. Kind of lucky that we got it right at the end.
And you were thinking about it. Should I get those?
I know. I was
10
like,
more
should I
spins.
do it? And then chat talked me into it. It's what happens, dude. They always talk me into it. Talked me into all the bad decisions.
Yeah, but this was a good one.
Yeah, this ended up being a great one. Right, so here we are. So we are pretty much set up there. You can see you there. You'll have a nice, obviously, intro in a second where you can obviously introduce yourself. But like I said, the thing you've sent me, I'll put on when we do the main video. I can snazz it up then properly and that.
Alright.
So if everyone is ready and you are ready, we can start off with the scout report. So the one thing I actually do need to do, one sec. I need to check what episode I'm, because I have done so many of these, I've actually lost track. We're on episode 7. Jesus. Jesus! How you doing, Rhinus? I'm doing fine. You've just caught us at the right time. We're about to start the scout report. So, if anyone doesn't know how this works, it's pretty simple. Nice, easy, free-flowing conversations where we try and get different people in from either Call of Dragons or even like players just from other games that are playing Call of Dragons too, right? So we just try and make it kind of a crossover experience. So obviously I'm not going to spoil too much about today's guests. I'm going to let them say who they are and go into everything today. So if you got any questions, chat, whack them in, and during, if I can, the questions, we will try and put those, live chat questions in the podcast. So if you've got any, whack them in chat and I will try and get them in between or maybe at the end when we do a bit more of a free flow convo and we're just maybe talking about something that's not one of the topics and going on to it. So, right, with all of that, let's hit the record button and let's get into it. Are you ready, dude?
Yep.
Right, so this is episode 7 of the Scout Report. Welcome everyone who is listening live or maybe listening again on the actual YouTube channel. We do have a nice playlist where you can go back and watch every different episode where we've got so far a different guest on from episode 2 coming all the way up to episode 7 so far, which is great. And today we've got a fun one. We've got an alliance leader here from a server. So we're gonna let Fian go into all of his details because he's gonna explain where he's from, his server, alliances, and then we're gonna go a bit more in depth on actually his experience in Call of Dragons. So on to you, mate. So when you are, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
All right. Thanks for having me, Mr. Sneaky. So. My first nickname is Fian. I come from initially server 34, but after change of events, now I'm on server 205.
Oh.
Under a different nickname, currently known as Rain.
Mm-hmm. And what's the alliance you're currently fighting for?
So it's always been the Immortals family. As I told you, we started on server 34.
Yeah.
When the game launched for iPhone, and we managed to unite that server pretty quickly with my friend and a leader. He's called Born to Kill on Discord, also known as Dope Man, our R4 in the Immortals currently. And so on server 34, we managed to unite the server. We beat a project of 5,000 Russians. We beat them pretty quickly. Then we had a different enemy. We beat them as well. But then we got betrayed at the end of the season.
Oh.
Yes, so we lost that server. It went to almost completely ruined server after that, and what was left of the Immortals, we decided to merge with BDO on server 32 as we were merged with them for season 2.
Okay, that's cool. So, okay, let's go into that because you mentioned it. Obviously, you just said the server betrayal, right? So
Yes.
what are your thoughts on the current, changes that's happened in season 2 with, the impact on that server betrayal meta that was floating about? Do you reckon it's a good way they've addressed it, or what's your thoughts on it?
So I think it's always gonna be part of the game, but as long as you make the right decisions, you can find a way and not let it happen. Because on server 34, it was our mistake. A big mistake that we did is we beat our enemies in zone 2, and then we thought, hey, these guys are not so bad. Let's work with them. So we gave them a different show. We gave them access to zone 5, and then they started talking people into betraying us and our family alliances. So this happened, and yeah. But it's on us, I'd say. It's on us that we decided to work with them when they actually wanted to just join us and continue together.
I actually
So
like
yeah,
that. I like that. You know what? Because do you know what? A lot of people, will obviously put a bit of blame on others, and obviously you can obviously put some blame on others, but it's actually refreshing to have some accountability, right? Because you do have to have some accountability for your own actions, which is actually refreshing to hear when it's actually coming to the whole server betrayal meta, right? So love to hear it. Love to hear it. So. I was gonna ask mainly, what is your actually, your current, what's your current experience of Call of Dragons? Basically, like I want you to kind of, maybe you've played through obviously a few seasons and you've gone through maybe a different few of the patches. What's your thoughts on the game generally? Like, has it been a good experience for you? Has it been a bad experience? Has it been mixed? Like, I'd just let you go on from that.
I think it's been pretty good overall experience because I come from Rise of Kingdoms as well, and I think that this game is way more balanced, and the way they're trying to make the war is way better than Rise of Kingdoms, because as we know, on Rise of Kingdoms you can just keep on jumping alliances, changing alliances, and here is pretty straightforward. You have a lot of ways to prevent all these it's not abusive mechanics, but it's like more straightforward. Like you cannot drop fortresses everywhere. You gotta make your way through your enemies. You gotta build through. So I think the developers are doing a pretty good job, in my opinion, on keeping it more balanced, I'd say.
Yeah, that's a fair one because like I think it's hard, especially when I think a lot of players do forget with Call of Dragons we're in that development stage, right? We're still kind of the test subjects until unfortunately maybe when season 3 comes out and we've finished, season 3 plus, then you may be looking at more of a complete game, right? Because even for a new player experience, you're gonna have that season 1, 2, 3 without hopefully, any bad moments. Basically, maybe season 2 isn't the best season. There's always going to be a bad season, unfortunately, I think, in any game. But
Yeah.
it's good though. At least you've got a new player experience, that you've actually got what you could imagine a complete game where at least when you're starting off, you can actually choose, different civilizations instead of just these 3. You can maybe, choose the path of, I want to play infantry now, because obviously do infantry heroes, or you want to play cavalry, or you might be one of those guys that save up the longest to get the mages right at the end for the biggest payoff. Like, it's actually cool that when the game will get to that stage, I think the Call of Dragons experience is going to be better. And I think even though they've got, I don't know, let's just say the last patch was a little bit questionable with quite a lot of the stuff they've done, with the increase in the size of match, but obviously they've decreased it, as well as the basically nerfed the free healing, which is still, even though they've kind of given it a little bit of a bump up, it's still not the greatest right now. Like, even for myself, like, I'm healing, God knows, like over 70k or 65k troops, if that, and I've got nearly like, still 400,000 out of like 800,000 troops that I had in like the last day or so. So it takes so much longer now. So it is a bit more of a punishment, but I know at least they're willing to listen to the community, which I think was a great thing. And I was going to ask you, like, what did you think about it? Because obviously the community had an uproar with a lot of these changes. They reverted on it. So what do you think the community, Call of Dragons devs need to do to keep the community happy, basically?
Well, yeah, they should keep listening to the community, because I think the initial change in army size was way too big, and as you said, with the nerf of elixir healing, this would just be a very big disadvantage to the players. Like, they would have to wait much longer instead of fighting and having fun. And as you said, for season 2 as well, it's not a very good season. They make you wait so long until you have the war. As you know, in Rise of Kingdoms, it is at least on the third KVK that you get these statues, which are very annoying. I've never liked them in Rise of Kingdoms as well.
No.
Like, I never played those. I mean, here I had to because I'm leading, but
Yeah, no, I get that feeling because I get it because obviously you know we've kind of it'd be funny because we both played Rise of Kingdoms as well, like, and we compared that game to this game, and you can see like Call of Dragons almost, you know, as Meow says and a few other content creators say, you know, like losing its identity and it's trying to be more like Rise of Kingdoms, where it's just like, you know, if we wanted to play Rise of Kingdoms, we'd go and play Rise of Kingdoms,
exactly.
right? You know, I've got a T5 account, you know, I'd go and play my T5 account. It's still stacking there. It's still at like 78, 80 million or something. So it's not like I've lost anything. I can just jump back and carry on playing. I just, you know, need to catch up to heroes. But I'm choosing not to because I just don't like the game. It's like, I don't like the way the stat system is. It's a bit more boring, you know. It's not like, and even the combat
system,
just the whole combat system. And I don't get me wrong, I don't mind, you know, rallying and garrison. That's kind of like okay, but I can imagine in this game they can just introduce that same rally style mechanic in a better way, right? In their own Call of Dragons way, which would be interesting to see. So I was gonna go with, what would you like to, maybe if you could, I wouldn't say take something from Rise of Kingdoms, but if you could maybe make Call of Dragons go a different way, what would you do to maybe make Call of Dragons go that different route which would satisfy you more than obviously a Rise of Kingdoms player?
Remove the statues completely.
What else? Like, if you could, okay, so you remove the statues, then what though? Because
I like the new idea that they implemented in season 2 plus with the teleportation into the different zone to have a fight. It's not a bad idea. It's very good to keep the waiting part of the game until you meet the other alliances for an actual war, to have real battles. So I think this is a good movement, but the statues, that they gotta go.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah. Because I'm not gonna lie, like even for me, I'm just sat there like, do I really need to go here? Because like last season, it was just like I turned up, I didn't do anything, I just got points. And
it was 30 days, no, not 30, but almost 30 days of just waiting. You're just sitting there.
Yeah, like it's not even good. Like I even said it'd be good if, for example, they had the seasonal challenge was a little bit better in just terms of just straight out rewards, because the rewards aren't really that great for the amount of time you need to be pumping in to get those max scores especially. But I was suggesting, like, why not, and I don't know why they haven't, but why not just add in, like, okay, the runic statue unlocks on this day, and obviously they know which day because the proving ground timer tells you when it unlocks every single time. Why not just have a daily challenge on that day? You know, so on that day when it's unlocked, you can just say, like, if you got so many more kills or so many, you know, much time inside your thing, you know, contested, or, you know, they can make some really cool challenges where at least if you went in and you fought for it, it gave a reason to fight for it, because you were getting some decent rewards as well from the daily side, and then obviously the full seasonal grind at the end. So like, that was the one thing I was suggesting towards if they really wanted to keep it. But like, I don't mind if they got rid of it. Like you said, I suggested one thing which was like a weird like teleportation kind of thing, where like maybe you could, you know, if you won, say, zone 2, you know, you won zone 2 in the next area, instead of these spires, which are questionable on their own, but instead of these spires, you could go to these like areas and you could maybe designate an attack time, and then the other enemies that you're attacking, maybe they get like, you know, an alert saying, say like server 34 is gonna, or server 205 is gonna launch an invasion in an hour. And what happens is like, you and all of your alliances could send maybe like, obviously like maybe a maximum of like 3 troops, not 5, just so it doesn't like go too insane. But what would happen is maybe you could choose like maybe 3 or 4 random locations, and if you pick one of them, obviously your army's like scattered out in that whole area, so at least you could invade into them and start having at least a little bit of a fight and a little bit of a war instead of like this one-way farm festa, which is currently going on, right?
Exactly.
But what I was gonna go with into that though is like the PvP though. What is actually your experience with the PvP like of the game? Like, do you know what do you enjoy about the PvP of Call of Dragons compared to other games?
Well, I've enjoyed everything so far because it's like way more strategic than like I'm always comparing to Rise of Kingdoms, because here like you have many options. You can take the high ground. You can try to keep them away. All the barricades, they try to block you in. You can like have your whole army. This is what we did on 205. Like, we were blocked in with barricades and we move away from the barricades and then you start fighting. So there's like a lot more thinking into your war experience and strategy. It's not so straightforward, make a bow, jump in and just whoever survives, you know?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Because that's the thing when like I was playing Rock, especially when I hit like T5, I thought, oh, I've got my T5 now, it's going to be a little bit different, but instead it just makes you play a lot more loose and a little bit more just kind of like, you do what you want because you just get your 5 T5s, and if there's T4 players around you just kind of just like walk into them and let them swarm you. You're kind of happy because you're just going to kill them anyway. Like, there's nothing to it, you're just kind of watching this, I don't know, this weird touch-to-touch battle system. And yeah. The thing is, which like always made me kind of question mark, was the fact that like, you know, I have an archer unit, but it's not ranged. Like, I never understood that in the game. I kind of obviously just accepted it. I was like, okay, this is part of the game. But then when you play Call of Dragons, like you're saying, you've got the archers and the mages, and they've got the range mechanics.
So much better.
It's so much better because it is a skill. It becomes actually a lot more skillful because you're going to have those players that are really good, obviously dealing damage, but the really good players are the ones that can like deal damage, but then reposition and keep in a good position in a murder ball, so they're not, you know, getting focused all the time. They're not the center of attention, and they're kind of like, you know, kind of like my name, you know, being sneaky in the murder ball and just doing damage, right? That's kind of like the beauty of this new range mechanic of Call of Dragons, which I hope, obviously, they make better. One thing I was gonna go, I know we kind of touched onto it already, was obviously season 2, and obviously we're kind of both in that same boat where we're not enjoying season 2. One thing I always thought, which was a bit strange, and I'd like to hear your thought on it really, was when you look at season 2 as a whole, maybe like as a package for maybe like, you know, like a WoW expansion, right, or like an DLC for a game, right? When you look at the structure of it, obviously we've got a new map, which is nice, we've got the new heroes, obviously, which is great and stuff, but one thing I thought, which was a bit of a weird one, was actually the behemoth structure of the map, because when we look at the season 2 map, we obviously get introduced to 2 new behemoths, which is the first dragon and the first giant, right? But when you look at them, maybe if you're in game, you can look at them on that Behemoth Hunter event page, you can kind of see how the game's laid out. And it almost looks like the game is missing one behemoth there. And that was one thing I was going to suggest, like, would you think if they added one extra behemoth, so there was like 3 behemoths in season 2 that you had to fight against instead of 2, would that maybe increase the popularity of season 2, or do you reckon it's still going to be where it's at?
I think it's mainly the waiting point. That's the biggest problem, that you just have to wait so long. The behemoths were pretty fine. I mean, if they add one too many behemoths, it's gonna ruin the PvP part, because you know, for the old behemoths, they are in the PvP zone. So once we go in there and we start fighting, we're not worried about these behemoths, because the challenge is mainly it is the throw one, the new one, but it's still a good one. So you have a competition between who's gonna get it, the first, the second, or the third alliance of the server. So I think it was pretty good. 2 behemoths was good enough for me. so that we don't get too tired on those mechanics and everything, because repeating them over and over again, it gets
Oh mate, I'm not
tiring.
gonna lie. I can imagine. I don't know about your server, but you know our server's played against obviously so many of these behemoths so many times. By now, you would have expected everyone to be able to dodge the bear charge, but it seems the bear is like the hardest thing to conquer for every server at the moment because they can't dodge one bear charge.
And the waiting for all the people to get there. Oh,
Oh yeah, it feels like you are honestly, and this is kind of one thing I kind of have said a lot is it does kind of give me that old school like World of Warcraft, you know, like WoW experience.
oh
It
yeah.
is like, you know, back in the day, you're waiting for the raid. You literally have to wait at the like the stone or like you know maybe at one of the hometowns, and you're like, right, okay, we're in you know fucking Ironforge. Let's walk down here across these two zones. Let's reach
Get there.
get there. Hopefully nothing goes wrong and we don't die on the way there. And then like you start doing the raid, and then obviously the raid's got so many more mechanics, and it's like if you mess
Everything
up,
has to be perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything's perfect, and it's like these crazy stars align. So I do get that, you know, similarity when I look at you know Call of Dragons, and it's one thing where it's kind of weird, and this might be a weird question to ask you about, but. The game, surprisingly, and I know some of my views know this anyway, but the game surprisingly has a really good lore. And I know, hands down, you probably have no clue about any of the story, right? Probably
No.
like, no, yeah.
No, I always
So-
skip that. I mean, it's a lot of. I think it's way too much reading. I mean, it's good to have a story,
Yeah.
but they overdid themselves, in my opinion.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna ask you. Is like, is the story like yay or nay? Because like,
Nay.
nay, right? Because that was the one thing. Because it's one of the things where I'm not gonna lie. When we've gone into you know the actual story of Call of Dragons, it's absolutely complicated as hell, and it's actually crazy long as well. It's not even like where you're watching this. You know, cinematic in the background. What we've got, which is part of season 1, Burning Stars. This is literally mid-story, guys. We're in the middle of the story. I'm just saying, like, you know, the story starts out crazy. You know, it's like almost Diablo, where you've got the god of light and the god of darkness fighting against each other, and then something happens, and the next minute Tamaris is born, and all these ancient civilizations are born, and next minute it becomes like literally World of Warcraft, where you've got these 3 races that are separate, and then as you can see now, they've come together kind of like as a common goal, like they did in like Legion, which I think is one of the DLCs, obviously, for World of Warcraft. So it's kind of like crazy how like they actually have put so much effort into this story, but I don't think they've given either a good representation of it. And I was gonna say, would you like it if maybe, I'm not saying they force you to read stuff, but maybe they had actually some decent cinematics where maybe like when you did complete those story chapters and you claimed those 3 rewards, you know, for the tales, maybe once you did that, it was actually a really decent cinematic that told you about what was actually going on, you know, instead of reading. Like, do you think that would be a better approach to players, so they don't obviously feel like, okay, I'm reading, because obviously they prefer to probably watch something over that?
Yeah, I mean, if I want to read the book, I'll just go read the book, because all the dialogues between the characters, you cannot read all of it. I mean, I don't have time for all that. I have to click like, I don't know, 50 times just to skip the dialogue. Imagine reading it as well. No chance to have time for that. And like, I'm a leader of an alliance, so I lead 3 alliances currently, so I barely have any time for the story. But I completely agree. If they made the dialogue a little bit less and more cinematic videos, maybe it would have been a lot better. I would have known a lot more from the story.
Yeah, because I think that's one problem, and it's kind of funny when I look at other games, because one game I used to play a ton of back in the day when it first came out was like Destiny, and like I adored Destiny when that game first came out. Like I smashed the hell out of that FPS game. Like it was no tomorrow. But it kind of suffered the same thing where I remember like I didn't really kind of understand, I'm not gonna lie, the story of like a lot of the things in the game. But then I remember one time I was like on my way to a Comic-Con in London, and I'm on the train and I'm reading basically the lore of just one of the weapons, like one of my favorite weapons in, but it was like one of the most interesting stories I've ever read, and it was one of the things where I felt like Call of Dragons has the same problem where it's hiding actually all the good stories in all of this weird like codex book where it's like hidden in the back, you know, it's like on the dust shelves collecting dust, you know, which I think is and a shame, because like I say, I think honestly when, you know, my viewers have, and I think some of the guys that are watching right now, you know, they've been on other streams, they've talked about it, and they actually love the lore when they know what the lore is about. So it'd be interesting to see if maybe the devs might take, you know, this and maybe change the approach and put, you know, the more cinematic areas in, so you can understand what's going on throughout the season, not just like you have a cinematic at the start, good to go boys, good to go, you know. Right, so I just
fight it out now.
Yeah. So as you said, you are an alliance leader, right? And you're an alliance leader for 3 alliances. So what I wanted to go into is basically maybe tell the guys that are watching and stuff like the life of an alliance leader. Maybe give them a little, you know, I wouldn't say a 24-hour breakdown, but you know what I'm saying, like give them a little taste on like how brutal actually leadership can be when you're in this game.
So first, your girlfriend or wife is going to be very mad at you all the time. She's gonna roll her eyes non-stop every time she sees you. Second of all, it's something like a mini company. I mean, it's, for me, it's like I have my own company that doesn't pay me anything, and I'm a slave to all my to all my players.
I love it. I love how they put. Honestly, I'm just reading in chat. Oh, they were just talking about how some of the story is really cool. But yeah, no, I love the fact that it's true though, because like I say, I did in beginning of my channel, like, and this is going back to the veteran viewers. It's like I had a lot of my content was actually more like a blog where I was actually obviously doing a little bit of guides and stuff, but I was actually like telling you day by day, okay, I was doing this is what I'll be doing, you know, because I was running an alliance back then, so I know exactly how it feels. It is, man, like I would remember finishing work, going home thinking, do you know what, I can quickly maybe record 2 hours of a video. Nope, it didn't happen, because I was on Discord for like 3 or 4 hours just talking and sorting stuff out and getting everything ready. Like, it's insane how much time it is as an alliance leader in Call of Dragons, right?
Yeah, it's like a second job. If I finish my own job with all my meetings, and then I go into other meetings in the game. So, but something really interesting that I learned from video is that like I didn't think of doing it before, but you do not have to lead by yourself. I mean, there's a lot of these dictatorship alliances, but if you want to do it properly, you need to find people to lead with you. So what we've done is we use the R3 position as an R4 position, and we keep swapping R4s. This way we can include as many leaders as we need. So right now we have a council of 54 or 24 or 25 leaders. So we all have meetings and we decide what needs to happen together, and we have 3 R5s. So it's a lot better when you build a big team and a big organization that can help you through this.
Oh yeah, I can definitely. I'm not gonna lie. When you was explaining that, in my head, I started daydreaming about, like, I don't know if you've ever watched Star Wars, but it's like
Hmm.
the Jedi Council when they go into the big meetings and you see like Emperor, you know what I'm saying? You see the Emperor and then they're all talking. There's like literally like over 200 council members in this circular room and you're all just talking. I actually love it because it is really true. And I ran my lines pretty much the same where we had basically me as the main leader and then someone else as the vice leader, and then when I was offline they follow up basically, and then we had our officer team, and basically it was just, it's nice to spread the workload, especially in this game.
Yeah.
That's the best way of putting it, right? Because
The
spreading
more
the
people you
workload
have,
is
the
just the
better.
best. Yeah, like because you can then obviously some people will not understand it, but like if you're spreading the workload correctly with the right officer team and the guys that are really good at the jobs that you need them to do, it basically means, like, I'm not gonna lie, they'll log in, they'll do their stuff, and then they'll be playing the game like normal, and then they might go to work or they might have to do whatever they have to do in real life, right? And you can do the same then, like you actually aren't restricted and confined to the game, because I think that is, and I was gonna
Exactly.
lead into it, the problem with Call of Dragons. Like, do you think the main
It
issue?
doesn't become too much this way, you know,
Yeah.
because when I've tried leading before, I've always done it with I don't know, the 8 R4 positions that you have, and that's about it. But 8 people to take care of 180 people is just not enough. It's not how it works.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. Like the time required, right, in Call of Dragons is the biggest burden, right? So, what would you like to see maybe in Call of Dragons to maybe lessen that burden? Because obviously that's the big thing, right? Because no matter what you do or you compare Call of Dragons to any other game, just the amount of time you need to be playing this game, it is going to be like your main game. Like if you play RuneScape, you play,
Yeah, you cannot
like,
play anything else.
yeah, you can't play anything else. This is like your game. This is the thing you play properly. Maybe you may have a game, I don't know, like I have my own like Rainbow Six Siege where maybe I've done Call of Dragons, I'll quickly go and shoot like two free games quickly and then come off, you know what I'm saying? But like that's what I'm saying, you have your main game. I think this is what a lot of people don't realise when it comes to Call of Dragons. So what do you think they could do maybe just to kind of lessen that burden on players?
Well, I don't think players have such a burden, but on leaders, yeah, leaders do. But I think also it is good as it is because that's what makes it interesting. The always changing mechanics, the always different strategies that you have to make. So if you want to be good, you have to put time into it, and that's about it. Like there's no other way around it.
I like that. I'm not gonna lie, I like that because that is something that I was speaking to another content creator about, and they was asking me about it, and I said I'm not being funny, but if you were in a really good leadership team and they're on top of the ball, every reset that happens, someone's on. So if something happens, they can adapt and change on the fly. They're not
Hmm.
sleeping because that's what catches you out. And the people that sleep and got caught out are the ones that generally are the ones that have got complaints about it, right? Compared to the ones that
Exactly.
have, put in the time, they've put in the effort, they've prepped, they've done all the things they could do, and then maybe like their plans was to attack in 4 days, but something happened and then you can attack in a day earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like something can happen and your plans will change on the fly, but you have to be able to take that opportunity, which I think, as you can tell, like good leaders should be able to recognize, right?
Yeah, plans are only plans on paper. Until you go to war, everything changes.
So when
Yeah,
when
like
it comes to war, I was gonna go, yeah, with war. Let's talk about a bit of war. What's some of the fun wars you've been a part of so far in like God of Dragons? Like,
so I've been in a lot of wars so far. Like we can talk about the BDO one and the dragons, but that's gonna be too long, and everyone already knows that story. I was right in the middle of it with my R4s from the Immortals. Then we moved to a different project, but I'd prefer to talk on my current server, where your previous guest Meliodas is as well. He's a
oh,
very
okay,
nice
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
I hope we managed to find a way to work together. And yeah, shout out to him. He's a very cool guy. He's been a very nice competitor and their alliance as well. So far this season, they gave us a big run for our money because in Zone 2, where the Witch and the Hydra is, we had a plan because we come from Menugat. We wanted to put the fortress on the edge so that they cannot go through. So we reached first on the choke point, and then we waited. I don't know. I went to sleep. It was 5 in the morning. We waited too long, and then they reached it. They built towers on the sides, and they can climb up the mountain. And instead of us putting them in a choke point, they put us in a choke point. So it was. Yeah. So it was a very difficult situation for us, and that's why I said that plans are only plans on paper, and then everything changes. But it's always good to have a plan.
Yeah. So since using a choke point, then are you happy that they're removing barricades?
I think they're a good. The barricades are a good feature of the game, but the map on season 2 is not so good because if you reach the dragon first and you barricade it, like there is no chance for anybody to come up top. Like no chance. Like you bunker down and it's over. Pretty much season is over. And that's actually how we won this season in season 2 on server 205 with the Immortal family. One of our war generals noticed that the fortifications give you more health on the towers. So this means that you would build slower. His name is Nyako, by the way. So this means that you will build your towers slower. And from the start of the season, we didn't upgrade this technology for the whole season. We left it on the first level.
Yep.
And both our enemies, HVC and KSG, the top 2 and top 3 clans, they upgraded it. So they were much slower in the last zone. So what we did is we just build it and defend it until we reached the top, and they couldn't stop us because they were like a couple of hours behind on the towers when we got to the dragon.
Yeah, because that's the one issue, and I know you're not the only guys, obviously, that have had to deal with it. I think it's been an issue everywhere, where honestly, I think that mechanic itself is a weird one. It makes sense on paper, right? Because if you technically upgraded your tower, obviously some people would argue, yeah, it should take a little bit longer than someone who hasn't upgraded the tower. Like, it makes sense on paper. But then when it comes into the actual gameplay, like when you were saying, like it's such an actual massive impact because players don't realize, maybe a normal casual player that just, you know, turns on the game, has a little bit of fun, they don't realize the impact of like the actual build speed advantage your alliance gains. And that build speed advantage is the like key to success, and that's what makes you win, right? That's why people ask you, make sure you've got that level 60 potion of vigor already. We don't care. Make sure that potion is maxed out.
Get that order up.
Get that order leveled up, boys. You know, we need to build.
We don't care about your PvP heroes. Get the order.
Yeah, like one thing, get order up, you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? So I love the fact that like that is kind of like the meme in the meta, but it's crazy how it works, right? Though it is crazy how the fact that you're able to just build quicker just because you didn't do attack. Like, it's just such a weird thing in the game. So
it is, but I think it's a good loophole for leaders. I mean, if you're a leader, you gotta make sure everything is right. You gotta check every scenario, see every side of the story, and pretty much all the details. So I think it's both good and bad. Maybe it should be nerfed a little bit, but I think it's a good one because if you notice it, then you're on the right way to win. But it also comes with experience as well.
Yeah, definitely. So since you were kind of a fan of the barricades, would you have just preferred, you know, the barricades to be just nerfed? So obviously, like, they didn't slow as much. Maybe they just kept the same job, but maybe there was maybe even a little bit easier to break and stuff, just so obviously a barricade, you maybe set a match up within 7 minutes, it could be destroyed within 7 minutes, it can be built up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was, because that's kind of what a barricade is, right? Barricades are meant to be fast deployable, just something you barricade in, right? So would you have preferred, instead of obviously how they're removing them, would you just prefer them to be nerfed?
The way they could nerf it is probably just removing the level 6 one, and I think the barricades are pretty good as they are right now, but they should remove all those choke points. Like the season 2 map is all about choke points. Like there is one zone in the whole map where there is no choke points, and that's, I don't know. I mean, with barricades and choke points, it kind of breaks the game a little bit. You cannot go through some zones. If they barricade, you're done for. So I think they are good, but it should be less choke points. Like on a wide map, it should be way better.
Yeah, because it is weird how it is just choke point after choke point. Even like to get to the main plateau, most alliances, especially on the outer skirts, still are in massive choke points, and it feels really claustrophobic. It's very tight, where you're not really getting much teleport space either. Where it's just like, what's the point? Like, everyone else has got, especially in the middle, which you can see in the brand new map, in the Season 2 Plus map changes, like, if you're in the the center side and not on the outer rims, you've got actually open land, so you're gonna have more, obviously, seas teleport on territory, which is again another advantage in there. Do you think the turrets are gonna impact this season? Because I've had a mixture of different things. I personally don't like them myself.
I don't like them either. I mean,
have you found any use for them?
It's like they wanted to do something about it, because they remove one feature and add something else, but I don't know, they just didn't think enough into it. And I think that the first map of the game was very well done, and I'm actually very annoyed that the servers after, I'm not sure which server, but on server 34 we had season 1, then season 1 plus, and now the new servers, they don't have that. They just have season 1 and they go straight to season 2 into the new bad map that wasn't really worked out very well. So I think if they started the game like this, they should have kept it as it is, and all servers should have gone through season 1 plus, because I think season 1 plus was the best season in the game so far.
Yeah, because that's the one thing that, and it's kind of hard for me, and this is like kind of now coming from my perspective as a content creator, it was hard for me to try and explain this to you guys, right, as like viewers and players, because when I played the game, there was only season 1, and then they got season 1 plus, and then it was like, okay, so for players, you guys, you're gonna be playing season 1 and then season 1 plus, and that's how everyone knew of it. And then season 2 came, so it made sense. It was like, okay, we had season 1, you went through season 1 plus, where the map changed and something happened maybe story wise for that, then you went into season 2, but then they just got rid of it, so it was just season 1. So your season 1 experience now is the exact same season 1 plus, right? So you don't get that double up of rewards, you don't get the double up of even just like the learning experience as well on raids, PvP, events and stuff like that. So I do agree with it. It's a bit weird how they've done it. I understand this is kind of like their, obviously, sadly, their development formula, where they did this even in Rise of Kingdoms, but I'm hoping with season 3, obviously we're meant to be introduced to a new race, which is going to be interesting again. But what would you like to see then? Would you prefer them basically to kind of go back to the older map, where instead of it being like, obviously, I'm not saying like obviously being all snowy like this map is, but would you prefer it being a lot more open terrain base? So maybe it is gonna have to be kind of like a desert plateau, like...
Yeah, that would be really nice. I think that an open terrain map like the first one is the best one, because like the wars are way better this way. And one more thing, my guys just found out that I'm on the stream.
I know,
You
I've
can
seen
see
the chat's been going, what
joining
the
in.
hell. Again, guys, if you've just tuned in, if you want to ask anything in the chat, just ask away. And if I can try and fit it in, maybe at the end we'll do a little Q&A. We'll whack them in, since we're having a good time so far on this Scout Report podcast. So I'm seeing someone say like open fields and mountains, which would be great as well. So if we were gonna, let's keep talking about season 3. Let's get our kind of tinfoil hats on and make this kind of a little bit more of a special episode compared to others, because obviously we can keep in reality, and that's a bit boring, right? Or we can get our tinfoil hats and get the conspiracies out there. That's when things get interesting, right? So if we were gonna go for season 3, then, right? What would you like? Obviously, we've gone over the map, right? They said in the next set of heroes, obviously they're going to be mage heroes, right? They basically as well have also said in, I believe, the Cologne Q&A, the Call of Dragons devs stated that these mage heroes were going to work completely different to what we've seen so far, right? So what would you like to see the mage hero do?
I haven't read much about that, but I was told that one of them would be flying.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think I've heard similar. I heard similar that I think one might be a flying mage, maybe one's a normal mage. But let's just say we don't have to go for the full kit, right? We don't have to go for the full kit, because that's a bit crazy for anyone, right? But let's say if you could just say a mage skill 1, right? You could pick any skill 1. It could be a damage skill. It could be anything that you would like to see in the game that might be not already in. What would you like to see on a mage hero?
Oof, I don't know. I really don't know about this. I mean, I think it's the developer's part to make those ideas and those hero skills and all that, but I'm just focused on the game. What do you think?
Oh, good. Well, I honestly am waiting for and it's kind of going to be interesting, for one of the newer archangels. So, we kind of know in the lore that there's kind of these like 5, almost like angels of order, if you want to call them. Fian, as you guys play with, she's one of them. She's the angel of law. Atheist as well, he's one of them, which is really cool. But there's 3 other ones. One of them's like based on knowledge, one's based on like strength, and one's based on healing as well. So there's 3 different like other archangel, almost like super angels still to come. So I was hoping to get maybe obviously a new damage dealing one, maybe in a unique form of, maybe not in poison, but a special maybe damage over time effect that says maybe if you
Something like Arcane in World of Warcraft, you mean?
Yeah, something very cool where it's maybe it has a lower rage cost on purpose. Maybe something where it's like 900 rage, but it has only something like 400, 500 damage, but it says every time this is casted, you gain a stack of focus, and then like that focus amplifies that 500 damage to like 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. You know what I'm saying? Like something in that regard. So the more that's in battle, the more skills maybe that get slung out, the mage does way more damage, which would be really cool, because that would be, you know, more built for like a rage generated build, right? So I'd love to see something like that. Or
I think Yaku gave a really good idea in the chat. He's one of my R4s. He said if mages could choose skills among a list to be more versatile, so there could be like a couple of skills that you decide to go with, and everyone could choose a different one on a like the new hero or something like this. This would be interesting to see.
yeah,
Like in
I
World of
said that
Warcraft.
to the whole game. I was like, wouldn't it not just be more interesting, maybe, if you want to call it, your heroes had like two main skills, maybe. So you have your main skill, like your active skill, and then the second skill is a passive skill of some sort. So no matter what, say it's an infantry hero, it'll always give you some sort of infantry, buff on your units. But then for like skill 3 and 4, wouldn't it just be better if you had like a list to choose from, and that list was determined by the talents, because you have the PvP talent tree, the mobility tree, and like obviously the infantry tree. It'd be cool that you could have like different skills as well assigned to those specific talent trees. So when you make a hero, skills 3 and 4 could be anyone, any skills from those 3 branches too, which like actually empowers the march even further and gives it more uniqueness too, right? Because then you're not burdened with maybe like a Goresh like I am, and and I have a 4th skill that's useless, right? Because it's a garrison rallying based skill. I don't need that. I'd rather have something I could use. So it'd be really cool that I could change that out for something else. So I do like that idea. What you said is a good one. We've kind of suggested something similar to that, as you can tell. I can see in the guys in chat having a little bit of a bit of banter in there. So in the current, I was gonna say,
what server are you from? Sorry.
I'm originally from server 4. I'm currently in server 1. That's like my home. I play in TA and TM. That's like my alliances we play in. I don't know if you want to. I played season 1 plus, very first season 1 plus with TM, and then I never looked back. So every other season I've played with TM. This is I think the first season where I played for the brother alliance or the sister alliance, whichever one you want to name it, and I've played for TA this time. So it's interesting for me because I've kind of like lived through it all, like I've kind of been from the beginning of the game. I've seen how ruthless it can be, and the funny thing is I've seen how rewarding the game could have been as well, which is even more upsetting because I'm not gonna lie, I reckon there was certain things that would upset players that like I had the opportunity to be a part of, that like if it was in the game, I don't think it would have changed much for the free-to-play player, low spender experience. It actually probably would help them a lot. And the guys that spend, the big bucks would still be spending the big bucks, I'm not going to lie, because it was more on obviously the rewards side of things of behemoths. Like, we have the restrictions nowadays where you only can get, I think it's basically a maximum of like 2 to 3 behemoths because of the unique... you need to get a unique different buff to get the first occupational reward. If you get 2 of the same buff, you don't get it. But like back in the old days, it wasn't like that, I'm not gonna lie. Back in the old days, you could technically, if you was able, if you was able to, and you was able to work your differences out between multiple alliances and stuff, and you allied up, which is the aim of the game in reality. You might have been struggling, maybe I was struggling on the Hydra, but I could have asked you to jump in with some of your boys, and you guys could have jumped in and helped me kill the Hydra and still got the first occupational rewards no matter what, right? Which was great for everyone, and I thought that was a great feature that they kind of got rid of. So hopefully with maybe more events, right? They need way more events in the game that can suffice for all of that. So I was gonna say, have you got anything you want to go into? Have you got anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like maybe it's very interesting on our server. Like I've checked a lot of different merges around us, and they're still at war, all of them, and somehow we managed to finish the war pretty quickly, and now we're uniting. So it's 5 servers in our merge, so we are uniting 5 servers currently. So the Immortal family is going to be pretty much from all those 5 servers. So we are aiming. Yeah. The interesting part is that on season 1 plus, when we merged with BDO, at the start of the season, their family was the same power as our family on season 2 for us at the end. So this is pretty crazy to me what we're gonna go in season 2 plus with. It's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait. Have you got any? Obviously, since you're not in season 2 plus right now, do you have any idea of maybe the end of season reward that you're going for? You know, like the level 3 pet skill that you're grabbing, or are you just gonna get to that hurdle when you get there?
Yeah, I think once we get there, we'll see what's best, and then we will inform everyone, depending on what they're choosing, of course, to main as archers, mages, and so on.
Yeah, no problem. Let's go into chat then. We're gonna have a quick little dive into chat. So this is kind of the cool thing about this podcast. If you want to be a part of it, you can, as a viewer, you can just put your questions in chat, and we can.
Sorry for interrupting you. You're in season 2 plus now?
Yeah. So our guys.
How many servers have you merged with?
Let me look. So our server is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 of us.
9 servers.
Yeah. And you've got like server 1, and then it's like server 83. They're like the guys that we're fighting mainly against.
But you didn't merge with previous servers that you merged with?
No, I didn't see me. The only one that we might have got were 9 potentially, but apart from that, no. Everything we got here were new servers. So our division lineup for our season 2 plus was us server 1, then there's server 9, server 33, 38, 56, 63, 67, 80, and 83. So it was a really big spread difference compared to before.
But it's very interesting because I'm getting the same on my previous main account because after BDO we moved with some BDO R Force and Dragons R Force and IK R Force. We moved to 46, and there every server, like every new season, we are merged with different servers. But we've noticed that in the higher up servers, they're getting merged in order pretty much. 200, 201, 202, 203, and 204, let's say. And even after that, like after season 2, you still get merged with your 5 servers, and then the upper merge pretty much, or the lower one under you.
That's interesting.
If you get what I mean. Like it's always in order, and we noticed the 14 servers into season 2 plus at somewhere around us.
Yeah, because we knew like the way we was thinking how they're gonna do this, because obviously us guys in server 1 are kind of like technically like, or server 1 to 4 are all super ahead because it's just playtime compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
So it's just
like... you can see what Nyako said. 174 and 187 were together while in season 2, and now they're together again.
Yeah, it's weird. I think what they've done is they might be trying to stagger the servers, so then eventually, if you can imagine, they're going to try and make almost like a giant group, so everything goes and like all the stars align, if you want to say. So like I think all of my servers, like from server 1 maybe to like 150 potentially, might end up going together. We might be all in, you know, hypothetically season 4 together for the very first time through matchmaking or migration period, you know what I'm saying? And
I've heard of this as well, but I don't like this idea. I think it should be randomized. Like you should go against, I mean, not every time, but at least almost every season you should go against different servers. I think it kind of
I agree.
The point a little bit, going with the same servers again and again.
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree, because like with the current matchmaking, I don't know, to be fair, how they're doing it. It's supposed to be based on maybe server powers, and then it balances out. But again, like, how is that gonna work in the long run? Because in the long run, there's gonna be certain alliances or servers that are gonna be just generally stronger than all the rest. So
exactly,
in theory, they will most likely see each other. Maybe not see each other straight away. They might go, you know, they might have a season off. You know, they might have a season break away from each other and have a holiday, and then the next season they're back at it again. You know, it's like nothing's changed. So I don't know. We've always been discussing this. I think this is one hot topic about Call of Dragons. It's like the matchmaking system, because it's not even just in, you know, the divisions, right? Even Roots of War, let's just be real, like even down to Roots of War matchmaking, some of that is still question markable. You know, like you're looking at it with raised eyebrows, like, is this actually my opponent? Like, there's no way this is who I'm supposed to be fighting this week, right? Yeah. So I think it might be just one of them things where at the moment what they might be trying to do personally is, obviously, and I hate to say it, like, just try to make the game work, like with gameplay, with events and heroes. And then once they've got that, you know, like all the stuff that you're supposed to do, then they're gonna like fix matchmaking and all these like actual, you know, big issues, because they've got the content there to keep you playing now. So then when they do fix it, it's like the actual experience it should be. So it is an interesting one with the Call of Dragons journey, I'm not gonna lie, because for me it's been a crazy one. You know, I've seen things that disappear from the game and reintroduce into the game. You know, like Nico's fourth skill has normal attack and attack speed originally, basically. Like now it has normal attack and counter attack damage. Before it had attack speed and counter attack damage, and attack speed was a special new trait they brought out for Nico, and that's what made him originally one of the best heroes in the entire game. But then they saw how powerful it were and got rid of it and gave him normal attack damage, and then they reworked it, as everyone knows today, as rapid fire, and rapid fire is on Syndron. So it's interesting that we've seen things come into the game, clearly not worked in the you know, the way they intended, and they are willing to take it out, hopefully fix it and put it back in. So
yeah, they're testing everything right now.
Definitely.
Still working it out what would be best, but yeah, because I've heard of this idea, like when I started playing the game, that their initial idea was that every merger, it would keep getting bigger and bigger, you know, with the same alliances but more, and adding more to it until it gets to, like, I don't know how many servers, but I think this breaks the game, because many people will just quit and stop playing because it's the same people you meet over and over. So I think they're testing it right now in the higher servers. They're testing if this is working out, while the early servers, they're getting the matchmaking that is supposed to be everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense if that's what they're doing, to be fair. I'm not going to lie, because it makes, for like them testing out, right, it still makes the most sense for them to test it out and do it that way. But we'll have to see. I think when we get to Season 3, I'm not going to lie, when we get to Season 3 and get to Season 3 Plus, that is when we're going to have a better understanding. Yeah, like we have a better understanding what the hell is going on, because even now we're in Season 2 Plus. Yeah, they've done some great changes, I'm not gonna lie, they've done some great changes, they've done some good stuff in the right direction, but then they've done some horrible stuff in, you know, in the same patch, and yeah, they've added stuff that they never said they were gonna add, and they did stuff that they said they weren't gonna do. So, and patch 1.21 supposed to be coming out, and that's gonna meant to have like a load of hypothetical fixes, supposedly like the pet skill system, supposedly, you know, maybe new mechanics that they're introducing, maybe they're changing again other things. Like, it's gonna be interesting to see what this whole Season 2 Plus is going to be, because I think patch 1.21 is only the start, and maybe we might see another 2 or 3 of these come, honestly, in this season to make it the best. Because at the moment, as you said, and I think as the whole community and chat will probably agree, you know, Season 2 needs some real big work done to it, right? Yeah, to get it
for sure
just on the same level as Season 1, where it's just an enjoyable season where you understand what it is. Yeah, Don't get me wrong, some people will still argue it's a little bit too long and maybe they can shorten it down. You know, that can change, but I'm not gonna lie, some players will be saying that now, and then I can guarantee 2 or 3 years down the line when it's just bang, 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 people are gonna be like, yo, I wish I needed like just a 1 week cooldown like we do in, you know, like Rise of Kingdoms during matchmaking period, you know? But I want to say, honestly, it's been an absolute blast having you on here, Rain. It's been a pleasure being on here. Do you want to give a quick shout out to, again, your server and your alliance and family that you're a part of, so anyone who maybe wants to just check you guys out, maybe they can find you?
Yes, of course. We are on server 205, and shout out to all the Immortal family and all the leadership. We've been working very hard through this, but it's finally working out, and we're gonna be going into season 2 plus probably as the strongest family. And I'm also happy that they're removing the fog in next season, so more content creators can record way more battles and can everything will be more visible to everyone, so it would be much better.
That is so true, because that's the one thing, and a lot of people don't realize this, but Rain has honestly said it for me right at the end, which is great. Honestly, the mist is the killer for content creators. Honestly, it's the killer for us content creators. But with the new fact that we don't have to defog it, so you know, all of my scout accounts that are in all of these different servers, and if I'm in your server, hopefully when you get into season 2 plus, I can watch you guys and have a really good time and catch us some PvP.
For sure.
So honestly, thank you for being here, man. Thank you, Rain, and thank you all of the guys in server 205 that have jumped into chat and have made definitely their voices known. I hope you've enjoyed it. This has been the Scout Report. This is episode 7, and it will be uploaded later on YouTube. And again, if you guys have maybe rewatched this or listened to it back on the official channel, thank you for the support. And until the next Scout Report, I'll catch you guys in a bit. Sweet, we can now have a nice gentle conversation now. I hope you guys enjoyed enjoyed that. You know, like I say, we have Rain here still. You know, if he needs to disappear, he can disappear, but there's no rush, honestly. But yeah, it was a blast, dude. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was very nice. It was very nice conversation. We went through a lot of parts of the game. It was really good, I think. Yeah, thanks for having me as well. So what I can do for you is so you can follow up our progress, and maybe you can motivate Meliodas. I mean, they've been thinking about it, so they are running an alliance decree, and they will inform me tonight if they're gonna join the family, and maybe we can go together into the next season. But what I can do for you is I'm gonna create a channel on our Discord, and you can follow our journey as well, and share your
yeah, man, sounds great.
much advertise yourself.
Yeah, sounds great. Honestly, if you want to put that Discord link in the thing, I'll join the Discord. Obviously, I'm not part of I don't know how many communities. I'm always happy to join communities, you know, for Call of Dragons, because it's one of the things, you know, the whole game, and I think, you know, the way the game should be played, or maybe the direction of the game, should be a community-based game. You know, you're doing different things together, you know, to achieve a goal. Like the Behemoth raids is a really good example of what could potentially be, you know, the game, right? So you can imagine that as a PvP experience, maybe, you know, like it's kind of crazy how it goes. So I want to say, hold on, let me find it, because I think my dashboard's been playing up. Hold on. Someone subscribed in the middle of the podcast, so I just want to quickly catch him out so I didn't forget you guys. It does pop up, which is really nice, in the background while we do it, so I just want to just catch who it were. It says it was D, so I want to say thank you the big D for the quick sub on there. Thank you for joining. But yeah, if you missed the podcast, don't worry. You can rewatch it if you really want to, live now if you really want to. You can go back, check it out. If not, it will be uploaded on the weekend. I normally upload these always on a Saturday around like 11 or 7 p.m. UTC in game time. So if you missed it, you can watch it on there as well. But we're still chilling. We're playing, like I say, we're on Call of Dragons right now. As you know, we were lucky enough to get that new artifact, which is kind of great for our account. So I'm trying to think what to do. We've got trial.
How far are you into season 2 plus, if I may ask?
So we're about to get the Frost Giant unlock, I want to say. Yeah,
Frost Giant.
Yeah, so we've got one more day after this. So basically,
Statues.
Yeah, and then Frost Giant's 12 hours. So basically 7 a.m. from it opens up at like 7 o'clock in the morning or something in like 2 days time. So we'll have that, which will be this bit. So
Can you show us the rankings? The alliance rankings. Would be nice to see.
I think is it unlocked now? Oh, there we go. No, these
I think they should be available.
Yeah, they are. They're on now. You've got Gang who are fighting against at 8.2 bill at the moment. We're at 8 bill. I can't show my alliance at a second. TM's at 6.8 billion, and then GG13 are at 5.7 billion. But I know a lot of our players, including myself, are in like Sky and stuff because we're kind of like merit farming.
Pretty cool, I'd say.
So, personal merits where, like I say, there's not been too much craziness, but we've been grinding merits. You know, I'm up there. I'm in the leaderboards, which is good.
And TM and TA are together.
Yeah, it's basically like one alliance, but two. You know what I'm saying?
Same like us. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's just like you're fighting like half on an alliance, and then if half of that alliance turns up, it is what it is, you know. But when everyone shows up and both alliances fight together, that's when you're at full power, and it's a different story, and as you know. So, but yeah, no, we've been fighting together like this for last season and the season before. We did something similar where we was able to just split up and do our own things and meet up in, you know, at the end together. So, but we've done the other strategy too, you know. We both dropped into the same zone and fought together from the start, but whenever that happens, we literally just kill the season because it's boring because no one can beat us. So,
I think the GG guys should be a good competition too.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good one. I think so. I think it's gonna be a really
should be a good season for you.
We hope when we get into it. At the moment, Zone 1 is what it is. We kind of accept that, you know. But as soon as we get into like the next zones, like Ravuna maybe might be interesting. See if we can.
So you're not together this time? Like both alliances are in different zones?
No. So yeah, we're in Orion over here, and then TM are over in.
I saw a lot of changes on the map as well this season. I mean, there are some changes. All alliances, like the last zone of Season 2 Plus, should be much more interesting than the Season 2.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying about like this end zone. It's weird because when you're on like this path and this path, kind of more like this path, and then definitely these two paths, like you can just tell how bad the teleports is gonna be compared to anyone on like the middle. Like the middle section's got the best teleports, but then, you know, like even these guys have got to go through and they get the spire advantages, which is alright, I guess. But even then, it's still like more players would rather have all this open space for teleports so they can get into the fight and fight up here, because this is what I think they've tried to make it more open, but it's
Yeah.
just not, because it's still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 choke points. I think, which is the problem. I think like what they should have done is maybe if they really wanted this to be on a mountain, they should have just made you climb a mountain back up here, and then the mountain's this massive area. You know what I mean? Like, so it's actually one terrain, and the choke points technically during your build path. It's not actually during an integral part of PvP. So,
Yes.
it'd be interesting to see if they change it again. You know, maybe this isn't the only edition, because like I said it myself, is technically all this space they just haven't bothered to use either, and it's like you could use that. You know, if they really wanted to, you could, you know, get rid of this water, expand it up, make this big plateau even bigger, and then maybe make the dragon go up one extra plateau just because it's, you know, you're walking up into the behemoth lair, you know. But
Yeah. And maybe the last zone should have been a little bit bigger overall.
yeah, definitely, because it's just still like this seems way tinier compared to before. Like it feel I can fit it easily onto my screen, and it doesn't feel like I'm. And before I had to move it, I had to be like, yeah, okay, right, yeah, we got it. But like now, and it's like that on all of them as well. So like all of the maps feel like that though. So it's like you're finding this now Camelid, and Camelid's really tiny, like really tiny. And then you look at Ravuna, and it's the same. Ravuna looks, to be honest, the most fun to play in. I'm not gonna lie. In a war zone area, this map of the area like looks the best. I'm not gonna lie, for me, or even the one above in like this like Borduria. This seems like it'll be pretty fun maybe to play in. But
What do you
apart from
think is the
that,
best one? The best starting zone?
um,
Let me gather some knowledge.
I think it's still technically either one of these. What we're in, like Orin or Enogad. Like Enogad or Orin are like definitely the best two, just because you get 2 runic statues, right? So you get like 2 from the get go, and then you can kind of push through. And
So Enogat remains the best one.
yeah, I don't know if all of these buffs on the, you know, behemoths are going to be in the exact same position when you start, but if they are, that might, you know, change which side you want to go on, you know, maybe. Like that's the only thing that I can imagine is the deciding factor, is actually like these buffs, these actual buffs. Are these buffs better, or are these buffs better? And it's not just like the zone 1 buffs either, it's like the zone 2 going into zone 3 buffs. Like they all matter, because some sides might get better than your side, right? So you want to make sure you've got maybe all the PvP buffs to win the fight. Or maybe you want all the research tech, you know. So it is one of them. I like Orin is nice. It's pretty decent.
It looks pretty nice indeed. Yeah, we'll be starting on January the 1st, somewhere at that time.
Yeah, like with Orion, you can kind of see how easy it is to split, because it's kind of like this section, like on the higher left side's like one side, and then there's kind of like a purpose middle, and then there's the right side where the other statue is. So you can kind of easily split that map up as well, which is really good. And technically, if you've got allies there, or you're going to, you know, create an alliance ship there, you can meet in the middle for like we've done, and, you know, have duels while you wait, you know, or something like that, at least, so you're doing something and not just shooting yourself in the foot with boredom, you know. So ooh, I'm still fighting, which is funny. I've been I don't even know how long this fight's been fighting for. Technically over an hour and 50 minutes potentially. This Eliana Garwood grind. Let's see how much I get for it though, because I'm still kinda, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you got
prefer
about
using
2 hours.
Garwood mod. I'd rather use like Madeline Garwood for this than just like beat people. Oh, I can claim this, which is a constellation, I guess. I can claim the season pass reward for spinning the Forge of Light 50 times. I guess that's a good consolation prize. 360 season reward score. I'll take that. We'll take that. Oh, that's actually a good one because the new insight rune, the new reward in it, right? You get the choice chest. That's gonna be good. Because I could either go for Shadow Blades and get my level 5 Shadow Blades, or, which I might do so it's out of the way, or I could go for the other city theme, but then I've got both city themes done then, so I don't have to go for them ever again. I can actually work on the artifacts then forever, but I don't think I need the Arctic Citadel theme, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not that bothered about 5% marksman attack when I've got marksman HP. I actually prefer HP over attack. No, someone apologizing because they walked into my march. Oh, it's cute. Right, dude. I will let you get off though.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna go, my friend. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, man. I'll let you get off. I'm gonna jump on some little bits on this and then probably finish up. So it's been a pleasure. I'll let you know when that comes out again. I'll give you guys a ping.
Alright, nice talking to you. Have a nice evening.
Catch you later.
Bye bye.
Boom. So I hope you guys enjoyed. That was Rain, episode 205. We had his company. Let's turn the music back to the main playlist. There we go. Turn down a little bit. Maybe it's not too loud then. So what we're going to do while we're waiting, I'll do this Trial of Light. I'm going to see how well we can win. See what it is. Increase the physical attack of your Legion by 250%. Your Legion melee deals 50%. Okay. Legion infantry surrounding enemies. Legion loses 50%. Okay, right. Oh, it's letting me try out the boy O's with the new O's. Okay. Okay. Do you know what then? I'm going to do Madeline with Goresh. But I kind of want to use my Goresh. My Goresh seems better, chat. I've got a 5-5-1. I'm just saying. Like, this seems better. Mine seems better. Am I wrong? So we're going to do that anyway. So now we'll do the Garwood Skogul tryout. And then we'll try out... Oh no, we won't. We'll try it out on these guys. Configure. We'll try it out. We'll try it out, the new thing, since we've got him as well. And then we will need more counter attack and damage arena, or just damage. So I might just go for straight up my boy Wonder with. Do I do a feel spicy and go for the Kanara? Nah. Let's just kill everything on sight. It's fine. This can go here. These guys can go over here. Bam, bam, bam. So I want to see how well this counter attack damage build does, basically. I just have to keep moving stuff. Let's see how good my APM is, boys. Yo, that artifact looks kinda lit. Kinda lit. Is it just me? Knew it. I knew it was gonna spawn there, so I was already like on it. On it like a car bonnet. On it like a car bonnet, chat. Down? I thought I killed him too quick. Oh no. He needs to get back to work. Yeah, he does. Or he needs to get back to Alliance work. instead of being laser. I'm joking. It was a pleasure though. Hopefully we get another guest on when we do the next, obviously, scout report. I don't know if this is just me, but this feels really easy. Like, this feels really, really easy. Like, I'm taking negative damage. Especially when I taunt it like that as well. And these things just, like, miraculously die. We'll love it. We'll love it. We'll love to see it. We're already over the score. I'm sure we've hit the score limit. Let's get a good angle like that. Bish bash bosh means I kill them guys all in one go. Nice and easy. Easy clap, boys. Honestly. No reason that you should be able to do this. Especially imagine if I used mages and like the AoE just hit one of them and they both just randomly died. Like, jeez, this is too easy. There we go. We're not even trying. 17,000 score, boys. That was on normal. All of the rewards done. Leave. That's how easy it was. That's done. Everything done. They can technically do the hard mode, but there's no point. Unless there were more rewards. That's what I'm saying. Maybe the Try of Light needs more. You know what I'm saying? Like, so instead of this score, it was like hard mode, and you have to get the score on hard mode as well. You know what I mean? Like, give you more rewards for doing stuff. I'm just saying, like, this game could be glorious if it tried to be, but at the same time, he doesn't want to. You can't force it. You know what I'm saying? You can't force it. So what I am thinking of doing, chat, by the way, tomorrow, if you're watching and you like the Era of Conquest stuff, I am thinking of doing a really long stream tomorrow, like from the morning, and do a nice morning stream all the way through. Because there's an event out on Era of Conquest that I've saved kind of up for, so I can kind of blitz it out and get basically everything done on it, which is great. But we hit T4 too. The tier 4 units on Era of Conquest as well, which is kind of great. And so what we will start doing is the rallying grind. That's what I've kind of sadly been doing. It's a shame I can't. Oh, it's archers. That's what we've been doing, the rally grind, so we can get obviously the rally harp done and upgraded. 10,000 away, 1,000 away. Originally, we've already got 400-500 treaties this season, and we just started doing it a few days. So I say a few days, like about 5 days ago, I want to say. So you do get them. I'm not saying you get a decent amount. You don't, but you do get them. Bish bash bosh. There we go. Right. So we did the myth if you guys are wondering, we'll do a quick update because we're going to end things there. I'm going to go downstairs, have some food. It's 7 PM. I haven't had tea yet, unfortunately. But that's these type of evening ones. Unfortunately, there's no war, there's no craziness going off, so I don't want to stream and make you guys bored. Maybe I might stream another game, maybe, in the future when Call of Dragons is like this. Maybe you guys will enjoy that. We'll soon see. But, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to have some nice content coming out. I've got some Era of Conquest content coming out, as well as, obviously, Call of Dragons content. So, with all of that, I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. I hope you've enjoyed the scout report. You can obviously go back and watch it here, or wait until Saturday, and Saturday is when it comes out officially, properly, live. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. So until then, smash the like, hit the subscribe button, share this out with all your friends, and I'll catch you in the next stream.